What's up, y'all? Welcome to a little bit of a rant I need to get off my chest. By the title of the video, you guys more than likely know what I'm going to be spewing about in this video, but this is just something that's just been pent up inside me recently, and I need to get it out one way or another. Whether anyone wants to listen or not, that's not really what the purpose of this video is. I need to get it outside of me instead of just dwelling on it. So I want to give a couple heads up warnings before I get started. I am about to be a super negative Nancy, like Debbie Downer. Call me whatever you want to for a majority of this video. So if you don't care, or that's something you just don't want to hear right now, or whatever, I apologize, but I'm gonna be. So I am 1000% going to be a little pessimistic whiner this video. So with that out of the way, you've been thoroughly warned what you're getting into if you continue watching from this point on. And I'd love to use my channel to talk about good things, things that I enjoy, things that make me happy, but at the end of the day, this is something that's just been consuming my life recently, and I have to get it out in the air. And this is going to be a bit of a ramble too, as you probably tell already. I do have a general idea of everything I need to say or want to say, but it's probably going to be a bit of a mess, so I apologize for that as well. Obviously, you can tell I've got some Arkham Knight gameplay going in the background, so if my talking gets to be too much, hopefully that's at least a little bit entertaining. Hopefully. But without all that out of the way, let's just get into it. So I want to start by going over some positive things first. Let's start on the positive side of things. I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea and think I'm some spoiled, tunnel-visioned whiner who had one thing go wrong for me in my life, and now I'm just, throwing a huge temper tantrum over it, which, once again, I'm going to be doing that in this video. That's like the third warning now, so. I can most definitely be a bit of a pessimist, but I also have a lot of good things in my life that I'd like to shine a light on first before I start bitching and moaning, excuse my language, about this one very irritating and bad thing going on in my life that I need to vent about. So, start by saying I've got a great girlfriend, always been very supportive and understanding of my frustrations. She's awesome, very, very fond of her, but even when she's going through her own stuff, she's always there for me, so I don't know where I'd be without her. She's always been incredible. Also say that I do have a pretty amazing family on top of that. In a day and age where families can be divided or divorce or whatever, our family's always stayed fairly strong and together. That's definitely something I have to remind myself not to take for granted. Lastly, I want to say I'm thankful for my possessional values. I try not to be a person who puts too much value or pride in their possessions, because I live in Tornado Valley, so a tornado could rip through and take it all away from me at any point, or a house fire, or I could die, and whenever you die, it's just not there anymore. So, but I don't want to pretend like I have nothing. I've got a lot of great stuff despite my financial situation, and I want to be grateful for that, whether it be my video game consoles like my PS5 or my Nintendo Switch, which, obviously I bought the PS5 on a credit card, and the Nintendo Switch was, once again, a birthday gift from my girlfriend. So, and then my car, yeah, I pay a good chunk per month to have that, but that's besides the point. I like my car. It's a good car, so thankful for it. And then I have a lot of collections of stuff that I have interest in, whether it be my Blu-ray collection or my Hero Academia collection or my Metallica collection. Like, I've got a lot of stuff that I'm very grateful and happy to have. But now let's get into what's been kind of eating at me for a while. Title of this video sums it up pretty much. End of the day, I'm just very unhappy at where I am career and financially wise. I took all the right steps that they preach to you when you're growing up to lead a successful life. But I just still feel like I've turned into a complete and utter failure, in my opinion. Like, I have a bachelor's degree from a large accredited public university. I've been unable to find any work and make my living I make my living currently working full-time after school hours at a local gas station, where I'm classified as a part-time employee so that they can pay me minimum wage and skimp me on any benefits, which sucks. But
prep an isolation chamber.
you know,
I'm bringing him in.
when I've tried for other jobs, you know, I've tried applying and interviewing, I just get rejected time and time again, and it's just discouraging. And that's kind of what prompted this video. I got rejected from another interview, and it just, you know, it kind of hurt. But whether it's because my resume sucks or I don't have enough experience, or there are other more qualified candidates we're looking at, other places of employment that just don't seem to want anything to do with me, and you know, it's getting bothersome. I also feel way worse about myself whenever I begin to play the compare and contrast game. You know, my parents at my age were college grads, they were married, they had full-time jobs related to their college degrees, and they were starting a family by having me. Like, my mom was about to have me at my age. And then, you know, my younger sister, someone who hasn't finished college yet, has a higher paying job and a stronger resume than me already, and she's only been out of high school for about a year. So that's embarrassing. And then my girlfriend, someone who opted out of the college experience, has a higher paying, more respected job than me. A great buddy of mine from high school who spent most of these years relying on me in class just to graduate from high school has a more stable, higher paying career than me. A lifelong friend of mine who went to the same college as me, was my roommate sophomore year, landed a jackpot of an internship that year, and is now working a full-time job out in Hawaii where he makes like 6 times as much as I do. And I could just go on and on and on and on and just compare myself to everyone in my life. But it comes to a point where I'm simultaneously asking myself not only what am I doing wrong, but also what am I not doing right. Like I mentioned previously, I followed all the steps they preached to you. I kept my nose clean in grade school. I made straight A's with maybe just a couple B's like my senior year of high school. I
Physically,
graduated with
yes,
a lot of honors. I scored a 32 on the ACT. I graduated college with honors. I got an accredited certificate for leadership during my college education. Like, I've stretched myself so far out of my comfort zone and tried to sell myself in every way possible, and it just still doesn't seem to be enough. So if it's lack of experience that's the problem, then how am I supposed to get experience in the first place if I already need previous experience to get that experience? You know, it's just like this endless loop that I just seem to be stuck in. It's so annoying. But for those of you asking, well, how long have you been graduated from college? It's not going to happen overnight. Like, you know, I didn't graduate just yesterday. I've been out of college for over a year and a half, getting closer to 2 years now. So, you know, it's not an overnight thing that I'm complaining about. Like, I've been struggling with this, working a dead end job at a gas station, a burger joint for a while now. But I want to be able to tackle my debt head on without feeling like I'm not going to have enough money to eat this week. I want to provide for my girlfriend with a better, more stable life outside of the one we currently live. You know, I'm not even asking for riches or to be a millionaire. You know, I would love it to work a stable 9 to 5 from Mondays through Fridays to make an honest living that I can just pay my debts, you know, provide. And that's, you know, that seems to be too much to ask for at some day, you know. And going back to that, like, I could sit here and just come like, oh, I haven't hit the lottery yet, or I haven't, you know, gone viral on the internet. Like, that happens to 1 in like 2 billion people. You know, I get it. I get how rare that is, and that's not even what I'm complaining about or asking for in this video. I just need something better than what I like, more just stable and honest than what I have right now, if that makes sense. Anyways, guys, like, I'm just gonna stop myself here. You know, I'm sorry once again for how downer of a video this is. You know, let me know down below if you guys have experienced or are experiencing anything similar. I know for a fact I'm not the only one out there who's either going through this or has gone through this. So it won't necessarily make me feel better, but it there is some sense of comfort in knowing that you're not alone out there. And hopefully maybe you find comfort in this video as well. Like, if this is something you're going through as well, you know, hopefully it's like, okay, I'm not the only one. Like, I'm going through it too. I get it. And but hopefully not, though. Anyways, I really hope you guys have a much better day, a better week, a better month than I've been having, better year for that matter. Um yeah, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.
I am ready for another challenge.